I'm Amber Porter, and this is my informative speech. I'm sure we've all heard of transplant surgeries such as the kidney, liver, or even heart surgeries. Something you may not have heard of is limb transplants. Doctors can now transplant arms, hands, and even faces. According to Michael Erico's article, a hand transplant is a surgical procedure that has grown from close associations between reconstructive and transplant surgeons. Although this surgery seems to be the dream surgery for amputees, it is rather costly. Additionally, Erico tells us that the single hand transplant surgery lifetime cost is about $528,000, whereas the single prosthetic adaptation is only $20,000, which is much more reasonable. Adina Halpern states that people missing one or both arms or hands cannot properly function and have to find new ways to adapt. With these new technologies such as the transplant surgeries and the bionic hand comes a new and better lifestyle for the amputee. As you can see, when we go back in time about 50 years, there's a spark in interest for a new way of life for the amputee. The first hand transplant ever attempted was in Ecuador in 1964. It was not successful. The arm was removed 2 weeks later. Biomed's article on hand transplant tells us that in 1997 the first practices were on large animals. Being first isn't always best, but being second really isn't much better, Megan Holohan says. The first successful hand transplant was in 1998 in France. At first it worked well for the patient, but then it began flaking and itching, and he felt needle pricks daily. It had to be removed in 2001. In 2002, Dr. Dubernard founded the International Registry on Hand and Composite Tissue Transplantation, according to Michael Erico. Now that you understand the single hand transplant, let's explore the double hand transplant. The first double hand transplant was led by a 50-member surgical team led by Dr. Dubernard in France. In 2005, a completely new transplant surgery was the face transplant. Isabelle Denor was the first to receive this surgery. Dr. Dubernard performed this surgery also, and in hopes to avoid rejection, he injected stem cells into Denor from her donor. But she had 2 rejections, and she contracted herpes and a pox virus and suffered from kidney failure. By 2008, 2 surgeries had been performed that would forever change transplant surgery: the double transplant and the face transplant. You may not remember everything I've said today, but don't forget about the bionic hand. The recent breakthrough lets you feel without a hand. According to Steve Connor, the hand is attached directly to the nerves via electrodes into the arm's 2 main nerves, the medial and the ulnar nerves. The plan is to let the patient wear it for a month and see how he adapts, and if all goes well, a fully working model will be ready in 2 years for testing. The organ care system is a system that maintains organs in a warm and functioning According to Transmedic's article, it makes the hearts beat, the lungs breathe, and kidneys to produce bile. In summary, a hand transplant has come a long way since 1964. The National Center for Biotechnology Information tells that the IRCTT have received details of 51 separate hand transplants. Michael Erica says the holy grail of transplantation surgery is to achieve graft tolerance, which would negate the need for immunosuppression. With the single and double limb transplantations, the bionic hand, and the organ care system, there seems to be hope for everyone. However, limb transplants are not for everyone, but for some the risk